Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, children of all ages, my name is the Ripper Danny B, and welcome to the first episode of Monday Night Raw. Not coming to you on a Monday, mind you. Welcome to Raw. We'll take a look back at some of our matches tonight. We have Shinsuke Nakamura, the Intercontinental Champion, facing off against R-Truth. Nakamura picked up the win there. You got the Universal Champion Bray Wyatt and Eric Rowan teaming against the Dudleys. Wyatt and Rowan picking up a win there. Naomi versus Natalya. Natalya picking up a big win. The New Day, the Tag Team Champions versus the Revival. The New Day win that one. Randy Orton versus Braun Strowman. And Strowman picks up a big win over the Viper. But we move on to our featured matches this evening. And this opening contest is a triple threat match. As I was saying, this opening contest is a triple threat match, and it is for the #1 contendership to the WWE Universal Championship. Introducing the competitors first from Dublin, Ireland, weighing in at 265 pounds, the Celtic Warrior, Sheamus. Now, in case you were wondering, all of the previous records from CWR still apply. So this man, of course, is a former two-time CWR World Champion. Now looks to take the Universal title for his own. Sheamus. And ready for competition tonight. He's a hell of a competitor as the Celtic Warrior. You know damn well he is prepared for this fight. It's going to be a great contest and a great way to open up our very first episode of Monday Night Raw. And I keep saying Monday. It's not Monday. It's Raw. His opponents first from Luzerne, Switzerland, weighing in at 232 pounds, the King of Swing, Cesaro. The Swiss Superman is here. Former Patriot champion is Cesaro. Tonight, looks to head towards the Universal title. Be a big step up for Cesaro, but been deemed like he can do it. He's deemed worthy of the opportunity. From Cincinnati, Ohio, weighing in at 228 pounds, the Lunatic Fringe, Dean Ambrose. You just imagine Dean Ambrose, Universal Champion. One of these three men will go on to our first pay-per-view Money in the Bank to challenge Bray Wyatt for the Universal title. Which one of the three will it be? Well, there's only one way to find out, the old-fashioned way, in the ring. Here we go. Game on. So, of course, triple threat rules. No countouts, no disqualifications. First man to pick up a pinfall or submission will be going on to Money in the Bank and will be Bray Wyatt's challenger. And you can see here early on, Cesaro has gone directly after Sheamus. Dean Ambrose laying it away there, though, was easily able to take out Cesaro. And now Dean Ambrose there with a float over DDT as Sheamus just watches on. That's the thing in this kind of matchup. You've just got to pick your spots. That headlock driver there by Dean Ambrose takes down Sheamus. And Ambrose has got to be the wild card in this one, because it's Ambrose. Sheamus is a proven champion. Like I say, two-time CWR World Champion, former CWR Patriot Champion as well. Cesaro, one of only, 2 or 3 men who have pinned Shinsuke Nakamura in the past year and a half. And now with Dean Ambrose recovering on the outside, Sheamus able to take down Cesaro with a dragon screw. This is going to be wild and it's going to be heavy. The thing is, you never know where a pinfall is going to come from in this kind of matchup. You've got to have eyes in the back of your head at all times. And the Celtic Warrior making sure that Dean Ambrose learns that rule. Now back to Cesaro and the two big powerhouses going at it. Sheamus able to drive Cesaro down to the ground. Turns his attention directly round to Ambrose. And you saw that there with that German suplex. Sheamus somehow has managed to take complete control of this matchup very early on. Up onto the middle rope now goes Sheamus. We cut back to the action. Cesaro's back in the ring. There's a suplex there from Cesaro. Now it's Sheamus who takes a moment. We've got a cover here from Cesaro. There's 1, there's 2. Dean Ambrose still in this thing. And here we go from Cesaro. I thought he was going to go for the swing there. Instead, steps through into the sharpshooter, and Dean Ambrose sees it, delivers a strike. In fact, he didn't strike Cesaro there. You saw that. He went after Sheamus, delivering a little bit of extra punishment to the Celtic Warrior. Running Bulldog right on top of Sheamus there. Dean Ambrose using the other person as a weapon. Only Ambrose, eh? There's 1, 2. Sheamus still able to roll the shoulder up despite the punishment. Now Ambrose still saying in this thing, you got to watch out for Cesaro there on the outside, and that's the other thing. Like you could completely decimate an opponent, but then the third guy comes in out of nowhere. Ambrose there able to kick out after a 1.5 count. Sheamus looked like he was going to get the better of Cesaro there, but the Swiss Superman having absolutely none of it. Sheamus and Bray Wyatt, of course, old enemies here in the Rippaverse. Be interesting to see them go at it again. We've got to come in from Cesaro. There's 1, 2. Dean Ambrose still able to pop the shoulder up just in time there. Cesaro, look at that deadlift gut wrench right into that suplex. There's 1. Cesaro holds it. There's another, there's 2. And the sheer strength of the Swiss Superman now on display. It is absolutely unprecedented power. And Cesaro back in there though. He's going to try and take advantage of this situation. Sheamus sidesteps him. Sheamus has him. This could be bad news for the Swiss Superman. High cross powerbomb there. Cesaro is down and out, but here's the problem. Dean Ambrose is to his feet. There's 1, 2, 3. Ambrose, too discombobulated, too disorientated to really know what was going on there, and Dean Ambrose was unable to pick up, well, to stop that from happening. It was an incredible matchup there. These guys really did lay it all on the line. But ladies and gentlemen, we already know what our pay-per-view main event is going to be. Well, one of them anyway. The Raw main event. Absolutely incredible match from these men tonight. But in the end, of course, the Celtic Warrior just giving it all too much. Just giving it way too much power, way too much prowess. You can see there the final move. The high cross does the damage. Ambrose, he kind of just not there. He's not able to really see what's going on. I think he realizes a little bit too late. But ladies and gentlemen, here is your winner and the #1 contender, to the WWE Universal Championship, the Celtic Warrior, Sheamus. Sheamus looks to ride the mountaintop again. This guy has a habit of being at the top of the pile when something begins. The first CWR World Champion. First man to be a two-time World Champion. But now we've got to move on to our main event this evening. Ladies and gentlemen, the following contest is a fatal four-way matchup. And it is for the Raw Women's Championship. Introducing the competitors first from San Diego, California, weighing 272 pounds. The force of greatness, Nia Jax. Now this match came about when the women were drafted following the dissolution of CWR. Obviously, in the old days, in CWR, the women had their own brand. With the dissolution of CWR, the women were drafted to one or the other shows. The women's world champion, the former women's world champion, Legend Jezzy, was drafted to SmackDown. And by sheer coincidence, and I mean sheer coincidence, it was a completely random draft, the four other champions were all drafted to Raw. Makes sense. Introducing next, the Princess of Staten Island, Carmella. Of course, at the closure of CWR, Nia Jax was the Patriot champion. Carmella was the Triple S champion. And now obviously if you followed the career of the CWR, well, you do know who's coming up next. Well, you know, you might have seen the thumbnail. Either way. From San Jose, California, it's Bayley! The luggable, huggable, slubbable, whatever the bloody other things are. The huggable one is here in action tonight, looking to claim her very first singles champion. Claim her very first singles champion, yep. Claim the very first singles championship in her career here in the universe mode. Here in the Rippaverse. Bayley, of course, is a two-time tag team champion, but tonight it's all about singles gold, baby. There's only singles gold available for the women now, so they've got to make the most of those situations. All friendships need to be pushed to the side because it's all about you tonight. And if any two need to make that kind of a thing, it's these two. Finally, from Dublin, Ireland, she is the Irish last kicker, Becky Lynch. Two-time Patriot champion, tag team champion. Now Becky Lynch wants to add Raw Women's Championship to that resume. One of the most prolific female wrestlers in the history of CWR. Can that success translate to the WWE? Look at the crowd behind the last kicker. Of course, these four, along with 5 other women, were all drafted to Raw. 9 women in total were drafted to SmackDown. There you have it, the Raw Women's Championship. Up high for all to see now, there it is. You know, those women want it. I want it desperately. Not one of these women have ever been a women's world champion in the history of the CWR. Tonight, they all look to top the Raw brand as the best woman on the brand. Now, of course, this being 4 women, we are going to do our absolute best to keep on top of all the action as much as possible, but it is going to go all over the place, and you know that, so not a lot I can do about that, to be fair. Split off into 2 rather distinctive groups here. We've got Nia Jax and Becky Lynch inside the ring, Bayley and Carmella on the outside, which, again, I'm not really that surprised to see. Nice exploder there from Becky Lynch. I'm not really that surprised to see with these women, because, as you know, Bayley and Becky Lynch were the former tag team champions. Of course, there's no tag division, as I said, anymore in the women's, with the women, so, you know, they've got to try and fight for themselves. But on the same token, you know, there's friendships that have been formed, you know, bonds that have been created over the past, you know, 16 months in the CWR. So to come back to pure WWE, and we've got something going on the outside here. The referee is moving to the outside of the ring. Therefore, I have to believe the referee has been informed of something I haven't been. Can somebody please let me know what's going on? Yes, indeed, it seems that we will make sure that we have a winner. There will be absolutely no excuses. So this is a Falls Count Anywhere matchup. We are going to make sure there is an absolute definitive winner. No arguments at all. And you've got to commend management team for doing that one. Commissioner, of course, Stephanie McMahon, doing a damn good job there, I have to say. Terrible camera angle here, though, guys, so we'll just try and call it as best possible. You've got Carmella and Nia Jax there. And now this is what I said, Becky Lynch and Bayley, they have put their friendship aside. It's all about that Raw Women's Championship tonight. You see there, Bayley looking for an opportunity. Goes straight after Nia Jax. I mean, is that smart? Who knows? I wouldn't say it is. Nia is obviously the toughest woman out there to keep down, to get down and to keep down. There's such a varying mix of styles between these women, though. It's going to be an interesting call. Carmella there, just going for that simple drop buster. German suplex there from Lynch. Again, trying to call the action the best I can, considering the view we've got here. Can we not get a cameraman down the ringside, please? Becky Lynch there, going for the drop kick, wasn't quite successful. Bayley is now in control of Carmella. Lynch using those running strikes, and look at that leaping crucifix there when Becky Lynch takes down Nia Jax. Carmella trips over Jax as she's sent crashing into the corner. You've got to do everything it takes here. You know, you get to become the first Raw Women's Champion. There's an opportunity of a lifetime here for these 4 women, and Becky Lynch now with that Fujiwara in place. She's going for the cover here on Bayley, though. There's one. Bayley kicks out. Lynch saw an opportunity, tried to take it. Didn't quite work out, but you've got to give her credit. Look at that. Another suplex there. Another Bexplex from Becky Lynch. Again, all this damage being done on the outside. Interesting, really, isn't it, that nobody's gone back into the ring to try and separate themselves. I think all 4 of these women want to keep an eye on not just the person they're grappling with at the moment, but the other 2 as well. It's just a bit of a miscommunication there for Becky Lynch as she was taken down by Bayley. Carmella turns her attention back to Nia Jax. Leg drop there from Carmella. And here we go, you know, it's all over the place. Whenever you knock one woman down, you know what I said about the triple threat before, you got to have eyes in the back of your head, but you got to have them in the side of your head for a fatal 4-way as well. Especially when it's Falls Count Anywhere, because there is no reprieve anywhere in the arena. You can't get away from the damage. The action still continues here. Bit of a slow-paced match for these women, but they're doing what they got to do. They are just picking the weak spots, just trying to find open opportunities, trying to take everyone out to make sure that when that pinfall attempt comes, that there is nobody left to break it up. which is, in a way, is quite smart, because the last thing you want is to focus all your attention on one person, beat the ever-living hell out of them. Got a back exploder there from Becky Lynch. Yeah, you don't want to beat the ever-living hell out of them, pin them down, and then suddenly there's a fresh woman on your backside who can absolutely destroy you. Now look at this, Nia Jax goes with the alley-oop facebuster instead of the powerbomb there. Interesting choice of moves, either way, effective. Carmella trying to run down Nia Jax and succeeding to an extent. I wouldn't honestly say, watching this matchup now, I wouldn't honestly say that there is one woman who stands above the rest, you know? I wouldn't say that there's one woman who's standing taller than everyone else. I mean, yes, obviously Nia Jax is taller than everyone, but you know exactly what I mean. None of these women have looked like the favourites going in, but look at that, Bayley to belly there! Bayley to belly on Carmella! Bayley not going for the cover for some reason or another. Nia Jax now on the background there. Deadlifts Becky Lynch into the air. He lays her out with a powerbomb. And now Nia Jax has turned her attention to Carmella, who was hit with the Bayley to belly. There's the spine buster from Nia. Bayley turns her attention back to Becky Lynch. And now, it's kind of a stalemate. I don't quite know what's going on here. It seems like they're... But I think both Bayley and Nia were just a bit too afraid to go for the cover, knowing that they would open themselves up to attack from the other. I don't know. I can't really get into their heads right now, but what I do know is we are back in the ring for the first time since this match began. All four women are back in the ring. Bayley quickly dealt with there. You see there, Nia Jax just hit the leg drop. Becky Lynch, I don't think saw it, has gone out after Bayley. This could be a big problem here. Nia Jax has got the cover on Carmella. Referee in a position. There's 1, 2, 3. Becky Lynch tried to get back in after she realised what had happened, but it was just too late there. And look at that Beck exploder, nasty looking move onto the floor. You can just see here, just these women just switched back and forth. They were continuously attacking each other. There was no real front runner. Becky Lynch in the background there again, not paying the bluntest bit of attention. Well, I don't even know what that was there. Headbutt there from Nia Jax. Jax was dominant, don't get me wrong, but all four of them at point look like they could walk away with it, and that's the beauty of a fatal four-way match, ladies and gentlemen. Anything can happen. Anything can happen. And it did right here. You see that leg drop there. Becky Lynch completely focused on Bayley. Did not see Nia Jax drop that leg. So when Nia went into the cover, Becky, I think, heard the referee make the first count. She appears just out of the corner of her eye here. Slides into the ring, but it's just too late. Nia Jax picks up the 3. And most importantly, the win. Ladies and gentlemen, here is your winner and the new Raw Women's Champion, the Force of Greatness, Nia Jax. What an incredible night here on Raw, ladies and gentlemen. The Ripperverse is live and well here in WWE 2K. I'll see you in a couple of days' time for SmackDown. Take care and keep it sweet.